Okay, if you want to see what I am attempting to do done well, go to the presenter I just saw last time. She really had it underway, and this is her second year of doing it. So I feel like a fraud. I'm still finding my way, and she's there. My situation is that 5 years ago, they took me from the 5th grade classroom and took me up to the junior high. I'm in Paintsville Elementary, and it's a small system. Put me at Paintsville Junior High and said, here's a new computerized program. Here's a set of laptops. Figure out how to do this and teach 7th and 8th grade math. And it took 3 years up there, and I finally had it under control. Finally had it going, and we were using the Digits program, and we were one of the first schools in this area to use Digits. So Digits was still in development. So about the time Digits got all the kinks worked out that I had fought my way through, they brought me back to the elementary school. And at the junior high, we had an after-school program, and so I was paid to stay after school and help get everybody caught up. So I had the computer lab, I had the laptops. I had time with my kids. I could keep everybody up to date. If they just stayed once in a while to get caught up, it worked well. They brought me back to the elementary school. I didn't have after-school tutoring anymore, and I had a shorter time frame in which to teach it. So last year, Digits really began to fall apart because I just didn't have enough time, and I had no way to get the kids that didn't have computer access at home, keep them caught up. So my school system bought a new set of textbooks and said, here, we're not going to buy the new and updated Digits that has all the kinks worked out. We're gonna do away with it, and we're going to use a textbook. So I thought all summer about going back to textbook only, and I ain't going back. In math, when you do it on the computer, there's immediacy, and they can immediately find out if they're on track or they aren't track, and they start asking questions, and they ask their buddies, and they find out, no, I don't understand what she just taught. And so I could get them closer to getting it done in my classroom. When I went back to the classroom, to the textbook this fall, you assign something, you're in the room, a few of them ask questions, they finish their homework and come back in, and 24 hours later, they find out they did the whole page wrong. And I thought, that's the one benefit of the digital math, is that they could find out immediately if they were doing it right or they were doing it wrong. The other thing I liked about the digital program we had is they had to do a lot of reading. And I watched children that were not on reading level, particularly technology reading, read those Digits questions because they had to be read, and raise their reading levels amazingly much higher. They could read my math because they got used to the questions. And occasionally we would have to help them with words, but they really did get the vocabulary down better because they were seeing questions daily using that vocabulary. So those are the things I liked about Digits. Going back to the textbook, it's easy either one was time consuming, but I just didn't want to stay in that. So when I got back, I found we had Chromebooks coming to the 6th grade, and so now I am trying to weave together a program to supplement my textbook. And I'm trying games. I'm trying iCurio. iCurio has a lot of interesting links. The one thing I'm finding with iCurio is I have not figured out a way to find out how my class is doing on iCurio, because they go from one page in one program to a different page in another program, and I'm not getting any feedback except when I walk around the room. So I haven't quite bridged that hurdle. I don't know if iCurio can do it for me and let me know how they're doing when they do a page from iCurio. But I thought iCurio would be here today, and they weren't. I couldn't get that question answered. But I do have Study Island, and I'm trying Moby Math and any other free trial you can get your hands on. And I'm trying to weave together some textbook, some worksheets, some gaming, some question banks. Digits was so encompassing that it took all period and all of their time to do it. I never really experimented beyond Digits. Now I have more room to experiment, but I feel like I'm stumbling along as I go, trying a little of this and a little of that, and I haven't quite met something I like. But one of the things I did get was a larger monitor and Chrome computer. I can now, well, it's almost installed. I will soon be able to see when the children are working. I will be able to see what they are on, and the monitor is bigger, and I will be able to see what questions they are working on. So when I know they get to question 7 and that's gonna throw that one for a loop, I can head that way. So I think I can get there by the end of the year, but I can't wait till next year when I can try it again and get it worked out much better. But it's a learning curve, and the one thing that the last several years has taught me is, even though I'm in the waning years of my career, it's fun to try all these new innovations, and the kids, they all have pros and cons. Just ask me. I've done a lot of them. Are there any questions? Yes?
What program are you using that allows you to see their individual?
I think it's called Lightspeed. My technology man I had a program called Multipoint at the junior high. And if you know junior hires, if you turn your back, they are off target and on to their favorite site. Well, I have some of that with the 6th grade anyway. And even though we had filters, I couldn't keep them all filtered and I couldn't keep them on track. When I got multi-point at the high school, I could see everybody's screen. The problem was my monitor was so small, I had to constantly scroll up and down. Even as I walked around the room, I could see when they weren't, but then I had to walk back up there to scroll the screen and see the other half of the list. So this time I wanted a monitor where I can spread it out wider and I can see all 20 screens at one time. And from a distance, even with aging eyes, I can see what they're doing. If I get a little closer, I can see what question they're on. We have found in trying to get the one that my technology man is getting, I believe it comes through Lightspeed. It is not multi-point. Multi-point was too expensive. It's something less expensive, but we're unable to get it through the state's firewalls. So right now they're working on getting this newer, cheaper multi-point program through the state's firewalls to be set up so I can use it. But he's taking care of that for me, and I don't know exactly what it is.